In the crimson heart of the arena, where the sun bled gold onto thirsty sand, shadows rose not as men, but as gods of death, armed with steel, scarred by chains, feared by empires. Before the roar of legions, came the silence of the condemned, whispering oaths of blood and glory. What if the most terrifying warriors weren't born free, but forged in betrayal's fire, their every breath a defiance against fate? Behold the gladiators, Rome's most feared specters, not mere fighters, but living legends etched in marble and memory. These 10 titans, Spartacus the rebel storm, Flamma the unyielding flame, Crixus the savage thunder, Commodus the mad emperor, Priscus and Varus the eternal rivals, Carpophorus the beast slayer, Marcus Attilius the unlikely scourge, Spiculus the imperial shadow, and Tetrates the wandering blade weren't just slaves or showmen. They were the empire's dark heartbeat, pulsing with raw power and primal dread. Feel the weight of their forgotten auras, rare inscriptions on ancient tombs whisper of crowds trembling at their names. Poets like Martial immortalizing their strikes as divine fury. They embodied Rome's cruel poetry, a blend of heroism and horror, where one man's survival meant another's oblivion. In an era where emperors played gods, these gladiators became myths incarnate, their fear factor not in size, but in the unbreakable will that turned arenas into altars of sacrifice. The roots of these feared warriors burrow deep into the soil of ancient Italy, where death dances were born not from whim, but ritual. Gladiatorial combat traced its lineage to the Etruscans, neighbors to early Rome, who staged bloody funerals around 264 BC, fights to honor the dead, spilling blood to appease underworld spirits. As Rome swelled from republic to empire, this evolved into munera, public spectacles funded by ambitious politicians to woo the masses. By the time of Julius Caesar, games ballooned into extravaganzas, with philosophers like Seneca decrying the barbarity. In the morning they throw men to the lions, in the evening to the spectators. Folklore painted gladiators as descendants of mythical heroes. Hercules wrestling beasts, Achilles clashing shields, while real documents, like the Senatus Consultum from 177 AD, regulated their status as infames, social outcasts, yet idolized stars. The people? A melting pot of captives, Thracians like Spartacus, hauled from Balkan wilds after Roman conquests, Gauls like Crixus, fierce tribesmen broken by Caesar's wars, Syrians like Flamma, exotic prizes from eastern campaigns. Culture fueled the frenzy, Roman virtues of virtus, courage, and disciplina twisted into entertainment, where betrayal lurked in every contract. Emperors like Nero and Commodus blurred lines, dipping into the arena themselves, turning folklore into imperial ego. From humble Campanian origins in Capua's ludus, training schools, gladiators rose as symbols of Rome's dominance, their evolution mirroring the empires, from solemn rites to orgies of violence, where a single swing could topple fates. Imagine the chains biting your wrists as dawn cracks over the ludus in Capua, the air thick with sweat and straw, the distant roar of lions echoing like thunder's promise. You're no hero yet, just a captive, stripped of name and nation, thrust into the forge of Rome's deadliest art. Step 1. The selection. Lanisti, the school owners, eye you like livestock, Thracians for their agility, Gauls for brute force. Feel the fear coil in your gut as you're branded, oath-bound by the Sacramentum Gladiatorum. I endure to be burned, bound, beaten, and slain by the sword. Pain begins here. Whips cracking on flesh for disobedience. The metallic tang of blood mingling with olive oil rubbed into wounds. Step 2. The grinding. Days dissolve in relentless drills under the magister's glare. Grip the wooden rudies, mimic strikes. For a murmillo like Tetrates, shield high, sword thrusting low. For a retiarius, net whipping like a serpent's tongue. Sensory assault overwhelms. The clang of iron on iron deafening. dust choking your throat, muscles screaming from weighted weapons twice the battle weight. Imagine Spartacus here, his Thracian fire tempered in secret plots, Flamma, refusing the easy path, his body a map of scars from 34 bouts, loyalty seeds in shared misery, bonds with fellow slaves, whispers of rebellion at night, the smell of cheap wine masking despair, betrayal shadows every step, Lanista pitting friends against each other in mock fights, trauma etching deep as you watch a comrade fall, his eyes pleading. Step 3, the unveiling. The chains loosen, the crowd's distant roar calls. You're paraded in the pampa, heart pounding under armor, helmet plumes waving like flames, greaves cold against shins, pain peaks in final trials. Live spars where mercy is myth, fear twisting into resolve. For Marcus Attilius, a freeborn debtor, this was rebirth. For Carpophorus, taming beasts in practice pits, the growl of lions a symphony of dread. Evolution complete, from broken man to feared blade, loyalty to the arena, your only creed, sacrifice your daily bread. The ludus didn't just train bodies, it sculpted souls, where trauma birthed legends, and every gladiator emerged as Rome's sharpened edge. The Colosseum's gates yawn open, sand hot under your feet, 5,000 voices a tidal wave crashing down. This is the battlefield, not open fields, but a staged hell where duty means death or adulation. Stakes tower, one loss, and you're dragged by hook through the Porta Libitanensis, gate of death. Tension coils like a spring as the editor signals, thumbs up for life, down for doom. But these 10 feared ones turned arenas into epics. Spartacus, the Thracian storm, didn't just fight, he shattered the system. In 73 BC, at Capua's Ludus, he led 70 slaves in revolt, arming with kitchen tools. His duty? Rebellion's flame, routing Roman legions at Mount Vesuvius, his Sika sword a whirlwind. Feared for strategy, he built an army of 12,000, surprising Crassus with guerrilla hits until betrayal by pirates stranded him, leading to crucifixion along the Appian Way. Flamma, the Syrian inferno, embodied endurance. In bouts across Flavian arenas, he won 21 of 34. His secutor style, heavy shield, relentless advance, crushing foes. Refusing Rudes 4 times, his duty was the fight itself. Feared for unkillable spirit, crowds chanted his name, but trauma scarred his refusals, perhaps loyalty to the only home he knew. Crixus, Gaulish thunder, Spartacus's right hand, charged with berserker fury. In the Third Servile War, he split forces for a daring raid on Lucania, his broadsword cleaving Praetorian guards. Feared for raw power, he fell at Mount Garganus in 72 BC. Surprise Roman reinforcements overwhelming his 3,000, his death a gut-wrench, fueling Spartacus's vengeance. Commodus, the emperor's madness, twisted duty into delusion. From 180 AD, he fought 735 bouts in rigged spectacles, his Hercules club smashing foes, feared not for skill, but caprice, executing critics mid-fight. His betrayal of imperial dignity shocked Rome, culminating in assassination by Narcissus, a wrestler, in 192 AD. Priscus and Varus, eternal rivals, dueled in the Colosseum's inaugural games under Titus in 80 AD. Hours of clashing, Priscus's Thraex agility versus Varus's Murmillo strength, ended in mutual surrender, both freed. Feared for unmatched skill, their draw a rare mercy, emotions raw in exhausted embraces. Carpophorus, beast slayer extraordinaire, faced not men but nightmares. In one Domitian-era spectacle, he felled 20 animals, a bear, lion, leopard in sequence, his venator spear precise. Feared for godlike bravery, crowds gasped at his dances with death, surprise escapes from jaws building his legend. Marcus Attilius, the novice terror, debuted under Nero, toppling Hilaris 14 wins with cunning feints. As a free volunteer, his duty was redemption. Feared for underdog shocks, he chained victories, graffiti hailing his blade's bite. Spiculus, Nero's shadow, amassed wins in imperial games, his rewards palaces. Feared for elite ties, Nero begged him for a merciful death in 68 AD, his absence a betrayal, leaving the emperor to suicide. Tetrates, the wandering Murmillo, conquered arenas empire-wide, pottery depicting his shield bashes. Feared for consistent dominance, his feats immortalized in Pompeii graffiti, duty a nomadic quest for glory. In these sands, tension peaked with every clash. Surprise pardons, fatal slips, emotions surging as blood-painted stories of power unchained. Beneath the armor and acclaim lay the gladiators' beating hearts, raw with loyalty that bound like chains, sacrifice that bled eternal, trauma that haunted dreams, and betrayal that poisoned triumphs. Picture Spartacus, loyal to his enslaved brethren, forging bonds in Capua's shadows, only to face Crixus's defiant split, a brotherly betrayal born of differing visions, trauma in every fallen comrade, Flama's refusal of freedom, a twisted loyalty to the arena, his only family, sacrificing peace for the roar that masked inner voids. Personal ties deep into the ache. Commodus, betrayed by courtiers weary of his delusions, his fights, a cry for paternal approval from Marcus Aurelius's ghost. Spiculus's vanishing act, ultimate disloyalty to Nero, the emperor's hope shattered in isolation. Priscus and Verus shared a rare hope, mutual respect and rivalry, their embrace a balm against trauma's scars, loyalty transcending combat. Trauma echoed in wounds. Carpophorus, mauled yet unbowed, his bond with beasts a macabre dance of survival. Marcus Attilius, debtor turned dread, sacrificed honor for gold, betrayed by fortune's whims. Tetrates wandered, loyal to fame, but haunted by anonymous ends. Even animals understood better. Lions tamed by Carpophorus's gaze, mirroring the gladiators' futile hopes. Sacrifice defined them, lives pawned for spectacle, betrayal in every thumbs down. Yet hope flickered, in Rudy's grasp, in crowds' cheers, a reminder that amid Rome's cruelty, human bonds endured, fragile as sand. As empires wane, so did the arena's thunder. By the 4th century AD, Christianity's rise eroded the games. Emperor Constantine banned them in 325 AD, yet they lingered until Honorius's final prohibition in 404 AD after monk Telemachus's martyrdom. The Colosseum fell silent, vines claiming stones where blood once flowed. These feared gladiators faded, Spartacus crucified, Flama dying at 30, Commodus strangled. Symbols of an era's end. Betrayal sealed it. Emperors turning from pagan rites, crowds seeking new thrills. It didn't die in a blaze. It dissolved into whispers, the last clash echoing as memory, trauma buried with unmarked graves, loyalty's oath scattered like dust. Today, their shadows loom in Hollywood's Gladiator, where Maximus echoes Spartacus's rebellion. In MMA cages mirroring ludus drills, even military psyops drawing from their endurance. Breeds like the Cane Corso trace to arena mastiffs. Tactics of fear and modern warfare nod to their psychological edge. But reflect. What does loyalty mean when gladiators, slaves to spectacle, grasped it fiercer than free men? In a world of digital betrayals and fleeting fame, their sacrifice probes. Do we fight for ideals or illusions? Trauma lingers in veterans' tales, hope in underdogs rises. They remind, power without heart is hollow sand. In that crimson arena where shadows once danced with death, the feared gladiators' oaths still resonate, from silence to roar, from chains to eternal myth. If these legendary blades stirred your soul, ignited fires of wonder or woe, leave a like to honor their memory. Subscribe for more immersive dives into history's depths. Share which gladiator's fate haunts you most. And as always, may history never be forgotten.